What's it like on the streets of Philly? Is it tough?
Not when you had the Lord with you.
Welcome to Philly, a city bursting with history, but battling modern struggles. From the cobblestone streets where the founding fathers once walked to the iconic Liberty Bell, Philadelphia's place in American history is undeniable. But step off the postcard and the reality hits you hard. The streets, and especially the metro, show the wear and tear of neglect. Trash, crime, and signs of a city struggling to keep up with itself are everywhere. Philly is a proud blue city, yet years of corruption and mismanaged politics have left their mark, fueling homelessness and an opioid crisis that cannot be ignored. In this video, we're diving into the good, the bad, and the downright ugly sides of Philadelphia, sharing our raw first impressions and showing you what life is really like in the city of brotherly love.
Welcome to Philadelphia.
Philadelphia has one of the most important histories in all of the United States. The City of Brotherly Love was founded in 1682 by William Penn. Penn, who was a Quaker, planned the city for religious freedom and tolerance. By the early 1700s, Philadelphia became one of the largest and wealthiest cities in the American colonies. And believe it or not, the name of the city Philadelphia comes from the Greek meaning of brotherly love. Philos for love and adelphos for brother. Wow, look at this. The great American bison. Absolutely beautiful. This is crazy, by the way. So this is just basically just leftovers from the ice storm that happened recently here on the East Coast. But right in front of the George Washington statue, such an iconic picture of Philadelphia there with the Museum of Art, the Rocky Steps, George Washington, and then you just basically have a pile of black ice that's somehow not melting, and it's mixed in with just loads and loads of garbage. Welcome to the Free Public Library of Philadelphia. Check this out. What a beautiful historical building this is. It's quite stunning. I feel like I need to have my indoor voice though. We're in a library after all. The columns obviously kind of reminds me of like Romanesque. This is gorgeous.
Where are you from?
Dublin, capital city, yeah.
I'm going to be there April 1st.
April 1st? Oh wow.
April 2nd.
You going over for Easter?
No, I'm just going over because the weather's
Check the
reasonable.
place out. Oh yeah, the weather will be getting better by then for sure. At the moment it's very cold.
Well, it's
Similar enough to here.
It just feels it'll be just like they're here.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I want to see some new things.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy it. It's a nice city. It's similar price-wise to here, but there's some great history behind it, and if you get the chance, definitely check out the countryside as well.
Yes, we'll
That's
do
where
that.
like the real Ireland is, like all the small villages and stuff like that. It's beautiful. All the Iron Islands are beautiful.
Yeah, I know.
Crazy wind, crazy weather, but the people there are very welcoming, and the food is incredible as well.
Yeah. I was there in 72.
It's been a while.
Oh, 72, wow.
Before you were born.
Yeah, that was well before I was around.
Wow.
I went for the first time last year.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Do you like it?
and I loved it.
Yeah.
And Dingle.
Oh yeah,
was my favorite.
Dingle is beautiful as well. Did you see the dolphins?
No, I wish.
You can do a boat trip where you can see some dolphins. Yeah, it's beautiful. Whale shark.
I did like a boat trip to the Aran Islands.
Yeah.
But yeah, didn't see the dolphins.
Gorgeous place. I hope you enjoy your trip.
Thank you very much.
Have a good day. It's interesting to me as a European seeing a free public library open like this, and then the inside of it is being used to canvas basically for politics. The fact that it looks like this outside of a building like this, that is crazy. Well, we made it to one of the most beautiful looking churches that I've ever seen in terms of the outside. Look at this. See how the old church, Cathedral Basilica of Saints Peter and Paul, look at how it contrasts against the skyline of new Philadelphia. So you have all of the newer skyscrapers and all of that stuff there as well. It's crazy to see it. What's your name?
James.
James? I'm Luke. Nice to meet you, man.
Meeting you, Luke.
You from Philly?
I'm from Bucks County, right outside Philly.
You're right outside Philly?
Yeah.
We're from Ireland. We're visiting here for the first time.
That's far.
It's pretty far away, yeah.
I'm here a lot. Usher here loves me so much, he bought me a phone.
Yeah?
Dad works here, yeah.
Oh, nice. The guy that works at the church bought you a phone.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, he pays the phone bill.
Uh-huh.
So that's how much they love me here.
Oh, amazing.
And Father Gil, the main father here, he came out on Easter 2 years ago. And he's sitting there, and I told him my story. He goes, I'm allowed to sit here anytime I want, nobody else.
No way.
Yeah.
What is your story? What's the reason that you're on the street?
My camper caught on fire. I got it on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
I jumped out of it. when it was on fire. I could show it to you.
Your camper caught on fire?
Yeah, I got a picture of it on here.
No way.
It engulfed in flames. I had to jump through that. I jumped right through that, and I took that picture right away.
Where was this? Is this close by to here?
In Bristol.
Yeah? What caused the fire, do you know?
The electric thing broke, so they ran the line underneath the door, and it was singeing at the time the door opened. So that's what caught on fire.
That is crazy.
I was in there too.
Thank God
So
you're okay.
yeah, thank God you're alive.
My friend called me up. I didn't even hear him, but I heard crackling noises in the back. Yeah. I
Wow.
almost caught the whole house on fire.
And you lost a lot of your stuff, I'm assuming.
I lost everything.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah.
And when was that? A few years ago?
Yeah.
What's it like on the streets of Philly? Is it tough?
Not when you had the Lord with you.
Not when you have the Lord with you. Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
When you had the Lord with you, He takes care of me.
Yes.
But sometimes I struggle, but He always does. Like my faith. But, oh, come on. And I'm like complaining about me being hungry, but he went 40 days and 40 nights without eating, right?
That's very true.
So there I am complaining about 8 hours or something, 5 hours.
Yeah.
Being hungry. I like to have money for it in the evening. That's like my hardest time. Like
Yeah.
like around 9 o'clock, there's nobody out here.
Yeah.
So that's when I get hungry. So I don't want. I pick water bottles up off the ground sometimes.
You get like a refund for the water bottles and stuff like that?
No, I'd be so thirsty I'd pick up water bottles.
Oh wow. That's just to get the water out of them.
Yeah, I'd be thirsty.
That's crazy.
But
We'll get you some cash over at the ATM.
So this is all just brick and then plaster.
Brick and plaster.
Yeah, granite bottoms. Wow. The archways provide all the strength to have an open space.
Yeah.
Romans invented that.
Yeah.
Like 2,000 at least years ago.
Yeah, we were just recently in Rome, and we were saying it looks so similar to a lot of the cathedrals there.
Yeah.
She's half Italian as well.
Oh, nice.
So we explored like a lot of those cathedrals, and when we walked in, we were like, were we really in Philadelphia?
I think it tells you this is modeled after, somewhere, maybe on the inside, but it's modeled after St. Charles in Rome. It's on the Corso. It's the shopping district.
Ah.
So you might have been there. So it's modeled after that.
And it's for Peter and Paul?
Yes.
Peter and Paul.
Cathedral Basilica, Peter and Paul, and the shrine of St. Kathrine Drexel. She's buried in the back. There's her tomb.
Oh, wow.
There's a concrete tomb in the corner.
Ah,
that's her
okay.
tomb.
You have to check that out as
touch it, to pray to her. She was a local girl, but very missionary heart. We had a lot of immigrants coming in those years, and still do. You hear the news, right? But she wanted missionaries, and she asked the Pope, "Can you send missionaries?" She came from a rich family, so she was privileged to have time with the Pope. And the Pope said, "What about you?" Okay, so she comes back to America, and she founds a religious order. She starts establishing missionaries out west for American Indian, African American, Hispanic American, all kinds of schools, hospitals, clinics. She founded a religious order, Sisters of the Blessed Sacrament, here in Philadelphia.
And that was based here?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And it's kept so beautiful.
Some of it's even hidden, like that column is a trick of the eye. That's
Really?
flat paint, but it's a shadowing technique.
Oh.
I think the French say like trompe l'oeil.
Uh-huh.
I can't speak French.
Neither can I.
I can't get the tongue and stuff. But if you look, like it's the same thing here.
Yeah.
It's just flat paint. That's the same thing. See, flat.
It looks like it has depth.
It looks like it has lots of layers to it.
There's a few other places like the archway inside the sanctuary.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Wow.
So, I think the Italians were probably the best at creating that effect.
Yeah, it's like tricking
The
the
Vatican
eye.
museums, trick of the eye. It's an inexpensive way to make things better.
Yeah, to make things look fancy.
Italians are very good at making things look fancy, but they're not actually fancy.
Not actually.
Yeah.
Very fancy biscuits, but it's just a biscuit.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
It's
Take
such
your time.
such a cool city.
I'll be here for a little while. Just
Oh,
get
great.
questions,
Thank you so much.
All right.
God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to meet you.
That was a quick little look at the Cathedral of Saints Peter and Paul. It was amazing to run into a guy that was in there, and he was able to tell us a little bit about the building itself. Very sad to see as well, homeless people. There's quite a few scattered around the outsides here. The guy that we ran into there, he wasn't the only one. There's another one that's actually here just behind us, and there's also a park over here that has maybe 4 or 5 more, and there was also one sitting inside of the church as well. City of brotherly love, guys. These are the people that need the love. So if you do see them, show them little bit of love, a little bit of respect, and
Even
not
just
just
a
walk past them. Even just
a
conversation, I think, can make these people's days 100 times better. Now, what would a trip to Philadelphia be without some Philly cheesesteak? Let's go and try one. Right, guys, so we made it to Shieh's Steaks. Now, we were actually told by a lot of people and with general public opinion online, Pat's and Gino's, those are like the two kind of most hyped places, but I think they're kind of just like tourist traps at this point. So you're going to go in, you're going to spend a ton of money, and you're not really going to walk away satisfied. So I did a little bit of research, and this place here, Shieh's Steaks, came up repeatedly when I was searching. So public opinion of the locals around here, at least, tell me if I'm wrong, but it points towards this place. I think it's relatively new, but there's a lot of hype around it, so let's give it a try. We went for the classic cheesesteak with the Cooper Sharp. I've never even heard of that cheese before in my life. Cooper Sharp.
Very sharp.
Certain type
Much
of cheese.
Cooper.
Maybe it's like an American cheddar or something like that. So it's apparently like prime rib beef, and then the Cooper Sharp cheese, and then there's fried onions in there as well. Sometimes you get whiz cheese, which is like the liquid cheese as well.
one in the
That's another way of
spray can.
doing it. Yeah, basically it comes in like a can. Yeah. But this is not whiz, so we might have to try one with whiz at some point and compare the two, but this is a Cooper Sharp, so let's give it a go. Nice like sesame seed roll as well. The bread looks incredible.
This is your first Philly cheesesteak in your life?
First Philly cheesesteak ever, yeah. That's incredible. It's so hot. The steak is incredibly tender. I probably have cheese all over my face now. The steak is really tender. Really hot. The onions add like some texture to it. And I understand what they mean by the cheese, so it's like a sharp tasting cheese. So it sort of like adds like an extra layer of depth to the flavor of the cheesesteak. And just look at this. The bread itself as well is like really sort of just accompanies the flavor of the steak. It has like almost like a toasted taste to it, so it's like a toasted sesame bun sort of a bread. It's a very hearty, like real hearty sort of like, I guess I would call it like something that like a construction worker, I could see a construction worker chowing down on something like this. We'll give it one more bite. Look at the cheese. The steam coming off it. The cheese. Kind of like a gooey, almost like a cement that just holds all the flavour together. Cement in a good way. It's very good. You need to give it a go.
You should have seen my face behind the camera. Cement. The portion sizes in the US, by the way, are so big that Luke and I, we are now at the point where we just order
We
one
order
dish,
one and we share.
and we just share it, also off camera. So we just get like one burrito, and the two of us will have a perfectly fine dinner.
Yeah.
Saves money and also calories.
Look at that.
That classic cheesesteak, by the way, goes for $19.95 plus tax.
$19.95.
So it's not necessarily like the cheapest sandwich that you can get, but
No.
you get a lot for it, and I assume that the quality is up there.
Yeah.
It's first time Philly cheesesteak for me. Oh,
How good is that?
that is amazing.
Yeah.
When the people say Philly cheese steak, though, I always assumed it was like strips of steak. In a way, I never thought that it was be like small cut.
This is properly like diced up, so I think
Nearly
it
a
comes
mince.
in like many different forms, but you barely even have to chew.
Barely even have to chew. Yeah. It's very tasty though. It's really good. The bread is nice, really soft, sort of with the toasted sesame on the outside. Beautiful meat, and the cheese as well is great with the onions. Amazing. Shaye's steak. Very solid choice. Next time I want to eat a Philly cheesesteak though, I would like to be in a European football stadium, or
Watching an Eagles game.
maybe watching an Eagles game or hockey or something like that. I kind of feel like a Philly cheesesteak is like, at its heart, it's like a stadium sports event type of food.
All right, people, welcome to the Philadelphia subway. The sketchiest subway system that we've ever experienced. It's quite literally like a horror movie every time that you take the subway here. Just being completely honest with you guys.
Oh man.
What is this? Like some really bad Star Trek movie or something?
Also, every time that we enter the subway, I cannot breathe anymore.
Yeah.
I have asthma and autoimmune disease, and I believe it's like full of black mold or something.
It's literally like rotting. The smell is disgusting. Got leftover food and trash. Quite literally everywhere.
And the smell of illicit substances.
And everything smells like weed as well, yeah.
And the floor is always wet for some reason. I don't understand.
Floor is soaking wet, really slippery.
This smell. There's a very unfortunate soul on the other side of the platform that we can see from him from here. And we assume that he's very obviously full of every single drug that you can imagine. But the people here are not paying any attention to him whatsoever. Nobody even seems to be flinching about this situation. Why is there's a police officer there, yes, I assume he's waiting for backup, but just the people generally that are taking the subway, they all seem to be really numb to it and low-key used to it, maybe, I don't know. It's very strange. If this was to happen anywhere else in the world, I feel like people would be very agitated, sort of nervous, maybe a little bit scared or something. But people here just carry on like it's just another day, just normal.
So here you have the map of the subway, or the regional rail and rail transit of Philadelphia. And as you can see, there's certain areas that are marked out. This here is the Badlands. So this is North Philly. This is a notorious area for gang, crime, violence, guns, drugs, all of that stuff. Here, I believe, is Kensington. Now we're going to be doing a separate video based on these areas here. That will be in the following video. So make sure that you like and subscribe and click the notifications, because you're going to be able to see that video as well if it's your first time here. This here is marked as Hell or Zombieland, which is the other word for Kensington that's often thrown around. There's a massive opioid crisis here in Philadelphia, fentanyl and horse trank and all of that stuff. So it is a huge issue in the city, and it's an underlying thing that's been sticking around here for years. And a lot of the historical center, it feels like it's being very much hidden. But again, once you leave that historical core and historical center, it becomes very evident. And the subways here and the general way of getting around and everything outside of that center is awful. And that's just me being as straightforward as I can. Yeah, so this is
Narcan.
This is Narcan. That's an actual
emergency treatment of opioid overdoses. Just there, it's a pack.
That, I believe, is the drug that's used to like resuscitate people when they are like about to overdose. And I believe nowadays that it's actually mixed in with the fentanyl in some cases. It's horrific. Anyways, we need to go and catch another line. It's disgusting. Just pressing up against this stuff here is awful. You can feel and smell the filth. Safer, cleaner, greener Philadelphia, one Philly, a united city. I'll tell you what, that's the funniest sign that I've ever read in my life. Couldn't be anything more opposite of that.
Here we are, folks, the Golden Arches. Billions and billions served. Billions and billions and billions.
Yes, everybody, so we made it to Fishtown, which is a hilarious name in my opinion. And it basically is the up-and-coming trendy area of Philadelphia. It's basically an old shipbuilding fisherman town, and over the last 2 decades it's basically been completely gentrified and turned into kind of like this trendy bars and hipster stuff. It's right next to Kensington, bordering Kensington. So I think what happened is the property around here, especially because it was such a working class shipbuilding neighborhood, a lot of the property around here would have been probably some of the cheapest back 2 decades ago. A lot of this would have been bought up, flipped, turned into these businesses, and now you see plenty of these like hipster bars and cafes. And funnily enough, this Fishtown, right next to Kensington, is by far the whitest area that we've seen so far in Philadelphia. Where we're staying, it's in a place called Fairmount. We are, I can tell you very, very clear as day right now, we're the only whiteys on the block. Look at these houses, by the way. Absolutely gorgeous. Really beautiful, a lot of the places here. But the demographics here has completely changed from where we're staying.
Feels a little bit like a utopia of sorts.
Yeah, it does.
It just feels like you left Philly altogether.
Oh my god, look at this. It's big man himself, JD Vance. He has a big lollipop and the spinny cap as well. Oh, I love it. I love this meme. It literally, that just made my day seeing that. No, this isn't an episode of the Blair Witch Project. We're in the woods in Philadelphia on our own, and we're making our way to a place called Graffiti Pier. We're already seeing some graffiti. But this is awfully strange. So partially flooded, plenty of needles, and we even saw a plate of spaghetti back there that was on the floor. Oh, there's more actually. There's someone in here that is leaving spaghetti out.
He also doesn't like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Man.
Maybe it is the beginning of the Blurred Bridge project.
Graffiti Pier is supposed to be a big outdoor art project. So we're hoping that that's what it is, and that we're not just walking in to a place that we can't escape quickly without running through forest. So this here is basically an abandoned pier right next to Fishtown. So remember I was telling you guys that Fishtown was a working class shipbuilding area with fishermen that lived there. So this is actually a pier that would have been used probably during the time when it was actually that sort of an area. Yeah, there's some people over there. We're not gonna interact with anybody.
Can you say delicioso?
And I feel a little bit like a Urban X type of a person here. There's even stalactites forming at the ceiling here. Some of the graffitis are really cool, like I'm not gonna lie, some of them are very skillfully executed. But the majority of it, of course, is kind of scribbly. Like something that would happen if I was to make a graffiti. How did they even get up there?
Over here across the river, by the way, is like a new housing development full of brand new apartments. And when I say new, brand spanking new, beautiful apartments. The view that they have is this right here. Pretty crazy. I don't know how happy I would be if this was the view out of my brand new riverside apartment. Man, these neighborhoods here, some of these neighborhoods here in Philadelphia just feel like you're walking through like a landfill. This looks like a house used to maybe be here at some point, but it's just become like the neighborhood landfill, I guess. The city in general is like one of the dirtiest places that we've seen in a long time, and we've been to places like India, like we've been to third world countries, and yeah, Paris as well.
The thing is, here in the area you have lots of different community churches, you have an elderly care facility, all of that, but nobody seems to be taking responsibility for their environment, which is a little bit weird.
Check this out. This is how you identify an agent of ICE, an ICE agent, and it's literally entirely in Spanish. Well, they have a little bit of English.
It's bilingual, yeah.
While there may be variation, ICE agents share a lot of similarities in how they dress and how they operate. So this is literally a sign here in the center of Philadelphia warning illegals.
And it's letting you know what abbreviation means.
Yeah. Wow. That's fascinating. It's fascinating that that is even allowed to be put there. So like they're literally telling people, if you're illegal and you want to be able to recognize ICE agents, this is how to do it. And have a look at this. We saw the videos and we know what ICE did. Trump's ICE is killing us. Wow, man. These blue cities are different. It's different sauce out here. Coming from Europe to these cities, you read a lot online about how divided it is politically and how separated everything is politically, but I never thought it was like this.
I know it might be a very difficult construct for some, but if you are a foreigner in a country, you can have this thing, it's called a passport. And if you bring this very beautiful document with you, you're not going to run into any issues. See, Luke and I, we are foreigners. I have a German passport, Luke has an Irish passport. We came to the US legally, we got ourselves a visa, and now when we walk around, we bring a passport. And then you don't have any issues. Crazy concept. Also, if you see police officers or ICE agents or military or anybody like that, maybe don't interfere with the situation and you're not going to have any problems. And I know lots and lots of democratic Americans are claiming that the situation in Europe is so much better and that the police officers wouldn't shoot you or something like that if you interfere with an arrest or with a situation where you put yourself in front of the German police in Germany. You are going to get into the same amount of danger and problems as you would here. Maybe it would take a little bit longer for you to get actually shot, but the consequence will be the same regardless of if you are in Germany, a very socialist country, or in the US.
I wonder if you can deposit your money into the ATM, yeah? Wow. Do they take European cards, I wonder? Man, this area here, these buildings are literally falling down. They look like they've been boarded up for years.
You need a mattress?
Philadelphia. Yeah. Yes, beautiful people, we made it back to the area that we're staying in. Because believe it or not, if you don't have $200 a night or more, this is the neighborhood that you will be staying in Philadelphia. So we're paying at the moment right around $100 a night to be in a private room in this neighborhood here. And as you can see, this used to be a gas station at one point. It says do not enter.
Crop the stick.
Yeah, don't worry, we don't want to enter. But it is just basically like a post-apocalyptic open meth den. As you can see, I think there's someone underneath that trolley over there. But yeah, not a nice area. So we're lucky to be in a private sort of Airbnb situation, tucked away, and we only sort of peep our heads out when we need to get some food or anything else like that.
Filming a video.
But right now it's starting to get dark. So first impressions of Philadelphia.
I kind of feel like we were really trying hard to show you a little more of the historical side and not so much the negativity in this video.
Yeah.
But the next video is obviously going to be the other side of the medallion.
All I can say is stay tuned for the next one, because we're going to go deep into the other side of Philadelphia, or this side, I guess we should say.
Our side.
Our side, where we're staying. And more as well. So stay tuned for that. This is a city of two extremes. I think there's a very big wealth divide here, as is the case with a lot of major cities in America. New York City was similar.
Or generally in the West.
Just generally in the West, that's the way it's going at the moment. The elites are getting richer, and regular people are losing out big time.
So you either eat people and you're rich, or you don't.
You either eat people and you're rich, or you don't eat people and you live in areas like this. So, yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. For now, from the factory shower room in Philadelphia, we're gonna sign off. Christ is King.
God bless you all.
See you in the next one.
I just thought I had like a heroin needle in my ankle. It was just a plastic fork.